Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Out of Our League. Today with me, we have some fun panelists, hosts, co-hosts, guests, I don't know. Anyway, first up, Caesar, how are you today?
Well, my Waluigi just fell, so there's that.
No!
Oh, you dropped something, King. Oh, here it is.
I'm alright.
Okay, next up we have McKenna. How are you today?
Living the life, you know? Doing
I know, I see you got a new room for those who are watching on YouTube. I'm sorry for those who are listening on podcast services someday in the future. But yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
Living that college life. College parties all day long.
College life, oh my gosh.
You know me, doing all the college party things. Woo-woo.
Then we have our wonderful producer with only one job. Gage, how are you today?
I'm okay.
Okay. I like it. Everyone's just kind of okay. Well, to counterbalance that energy, he's from the UK. He's here to play. It's Travis Touchdown on Out of Our League!
God, I forgot my jacket. I forgot my glasses. Oh.
Joe Medforce, how are you today?
I am great. Thank you for asking, and thank you so much for having me. I have watched with only a little bit of envy as many great person and name has come across my Twitter feed on the next episode of Out of Our League, and I, in no uncertain terms, messaged Phil and was like, "Can I come on the show, please?"
No. How this started was I was in a call with you. I forget if we were on a stream or something.
It's correct. We were actually live.
We were doing something. We were playing something. We were on a Discord call, and
We
Joe's
played
like,
Fortnite.
"Caesar, what do I have to do to get on Simply Sassy? When can you get me on that show? I want to be on that show. I want to be featured on that show." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't do the scheduling. I am the last person you should be asking."
You said what I needed to hear. Phil does the scheduling.
Right. I was like, you talk to Phil. I'm not the person that does that.
And Phil and I, in terms of the 2 years of this pandemonium, we go way back. He created one of my very first Twitch emotes. He's amazing.
That's true. Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely something that we've had, on the schedule to figure out. But you messaged me like at the perfect time because it allowed us to just get you in there on the schedule and a future date that worked for both of us, and it was perfect. So thank you for that. Making my job a little easier. You would not believe how many messages I have in my sent email box of like no responses to people.
Well, also, it's the serendipity of all of us who are doing this for the love of it, rather than an actual like career whereby they have engagements that are paid well, right, and keeping them busy all the time. So yeah, no, seriously though, thanks again. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would like to point out none of us get paid for this. We're all here for the love of it, 100%.
I don't think looking at the subscriber count and the view count, I don't think anybody thought we were getting paid for this.
It's probably true. Yeah. We could have a cool sponsor. I've seen people with. So never mind.
A sponsor to fix Gage's mic off. Okay, buddy.
All right. Joe, for those who don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Joe, and I go by Joe Medforce on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And the Medforce is a part-time stream working towards a full-time dream, bringing you ridiculous positive passion every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch, as well as everywhere else I exist online. And it's something that I have built over the past year. I'm sure we'll probably get into a bit of that. And if you aren't aware, it's nonsense. It's singing, it's playing a ton of Nintendo games, fun games like Fall Guys, occasionally dressing up like really, really well-known, beloved characters like Waluigi and Travis Touchdown, and just doing my best to put a smile on people's faces, really.
That's awesome. And now, how do you feel about the shade being thrown at No More Heroes 3 right now? Like, it really breaks my heart.
I honestly, I understand, and for those who don't know, because I bet there's going to be some people end up listening to this like, No More Heroes what? No More Heroes 3 is a cult classic game series that started out on the Wii.
Very
It's
cult
about
classic.
yeah, but seriously though, like it is exactly, Cesar, and it focuses on an otaku assassin, loser called Travis Touchdown, who wants to be the best assassin out there, rise to the top of the ranks. You had 2 games on Wii. They got ported to Switch last year, and finally we have the conclusion of the trilogy that's come out on Switch just a couple of weeks ago, and I love it, and I built up to it. I spent a whole month playing those goddamn games on stream and dressed as the lead character. And I think overall, like I watched, I think it was like Nintendo Life and oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but a ton of other outlets, and there is a mixed opinion of the game. It's rough around the edges. It's by no means a perfect game, but it's certainly my game of the year. And I think there are enough people out there. I was talking to a friend about this today, actually, in terms of for the fans. There's almost, I think, very little way you wouldn't love it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, really. But yeah, I can see there's some people who I think are almost trying to judge it by the standards of a game that it was never trying to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not looking to compete with like the open world of a GTA where like every corner is filled with something or a Ubisoft game or whatever. Like it's just its own thing. It's created by a much smaller team than a lot of these bigger games but also it's weird and wonderful, and a lot of people just aren't going to vibe with that. They're not going to get on the game's level and enjoy that sort of
Some of the
punk
criticisms
sensibility.
I've been seeing, I've been like, have you played the first one?
No,
I
and I
think
can.
the-
Oh, go on.
I think it's a really weird franchise too, because it's a Nintendo published franchise, and there's like a lot of crude language in it, a lot of really not Nintendo friendly.
To be fair, I think
material in this.
Nintendo has really grown a lot in the past few. I mean, especially the Switch era has been a lot more
yeah, but-
lewd than
Yeah.
previous iterations of Nintendo.
Yeah, but still, when people think Nintendo, they think Mario.
Yeah, but then you look at Astral Chain and there's an ass right on the cover. Like,
Yeah. It's I think.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's precious about their IP and their franchises, right? They're not gonna let
sure.
Samus in Fortnite even possibly.
I mean, have
for
you seen the Xeno series? The Waifu Simulator 3000? I don't know.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think it was the one for
Yeah.
Switch. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I was shown a couple characters in that, and I'm like, wow, this is a Nintendo game.
Nintendo is
Cool.
a little different this time around.
Yeah, but still.
But I do agree, back when No More Heroes launched on the Wii, and you had No More Heroes and Mad World, like those games were so weird and different to have on a Nintendo platform. It was like really shocking. All of a sudden you're playing this black and white game where the only thing that's in color is blood, and there's just blood everywhere. And then No More Heroes, where you're making people explode into blood and coins and doing crazy wrestling moves and doing questionable motions with your Wii remote to charge your sword. Yeah, it's
Yep.
I think that people also they might take a first glance at it and think, oh wow, this is just too much, this is strange, and it really is, it's so over the top. But there's a lot of weirdly enough, a lot of heart to that series specifically, and I think in general you see this in Suda's games. It comes across Suda51, the creator of the series, as well as Lollipop Chainsaw, if you guys remember that from
my personal
PlayStation.
favorite.
I've still not played it because I didn't have a PS3 and
It's-
60 or 360 when it came out.
I got a copy a couple years ago, and it pre-owned, like used. It was the only copy at my local GameStop, and I think it cost me like $45, which is insane.
So-
And I still have to beat it because I don't like the level structure. If you love 45-minute long levels, they're great. Otherwise, good game. Good
So,
game. Cool though.
For those listening, I have a Nick keychain headless Nick from Lollipop Chainsaw on my keychain, and I've had that since before the game came out. Just goes with me everywhere. My little Nick.
Well, I will say this went into this is what happens when you give Phil the hosting chair and he knows that he's as big a No More Heroes fan as me. It's like, yeah, this game came out recently and we're never going to stop talking about it.
Yes, no, you're absolutely correct. This show is about you, but I had to get it in there.
No, but I made it such a big part of what I was doing for literally the past month. I committed to a bit in a way very few people would, because they'd be like, no, this is too weird. Why are you doing this? You're playing a character. What's wrong with you?
Let me tell you though, that those TikToks, man. So good.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with it, and that was the main thing as well. Like, I just really and I think as I move forward, like I love showing people things, like even WarioWare recently. So like WarioWare is coming out in like a week on Switch, the new WarioWare, and it's a series that's, even though Wario is a character that if you ask people to rattle off some Mario characters, they know Wario from like Mario Kart. They don't necessarily know about that series. And I had people when I was playing the demo pop in to the stream and say like, what is this? What is this weird like Nintendo party game that's not Mario Party, but it's kind of got that energy, except you're Wario in a little jetpack and you're pulling like armpit hairs out of a statue. Like, what is going on? What is happening? And so I love the if I can get someone who is as sort of like averse to a lot of things as Snowbike Mike to say, I had no idea who Travis Touchdown is, and now I know thanks to you shoving it down everyone's throats. He didn't quite use those words, but yeah, it was really cool to at least have people get familiar with it, and also get some people more interested in the series and say like, oh yeah, I might get this now. I might try this out myself.
So I think one of the coolest things about your story as far as streaming goes is, you decided to do this kind of during the pandemic, right? And it has become literally a passion for you beyond most people that I see that started streaming. Like even myself, like I started streaming a little bit after I started going back to work. And I kind of been a little hot and cold on it. I don't know how I feel about streaming. I don't know if it's just because I haven't found what I want to do streaming, but it seems like you really fell into your own when you started streaming and you fell in love with it. What was it that drew you into that and kind of created that passion?
I think it was needing a connection like so many of us did over the past year. And I, for a long time, so as a very brief amount of background, I went to university and I studied film, and I spent a lot of time over the past like 7-8 years trying to make YouTube videos about live music, make like little documentary series. I, did film reviews on my personal YouTube channel. I did a whole bunch of other stuff. And although I had friends who liked that stuff, and every so often a video would do better than I expected, get a few thousand views or whatever, which is like still huge to me to this day. When any amount of people watch anything I do, I love it, and it's to connect with that many people is fantastic. But nothing ever really clicked until I started streaming, and it's to the point where there's that little part of me that still almost kicks myself for not starting it sooner. But I think it was just the perfect storm because, of course, couldn't go out and see friends, couldn't go round to friends' houses to play video games because I would still do that. Like, hop round to my mate's house, play some Nintendo Switch or whatever.
Yeah, Gage knows exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his best friend Large play all the time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And I think that for me, I found that it was almost the perfect storm of taking something that I love and have always loved, video games, being able to then share that with people, whether it's playing multiplayer games with them and just goofing off, in a voice chat or whatever. But also, the first thing I ever remember loving as when I was younger was like performing on stage, apart from like more internal, like playing video games or reading books or watching films or whatever, was like I loved performing, and it is a performance to me, and it gives me a stage. It just gives me an opportunity to do that and to make people's day in some cases. In the first week I streamed, I had someone say in the chat something along the lines of it was this kid named Bennett from like Australia or something, and I was like doing these Animal Crossing streams, these like cozy Animal Crossing streams on a weekend, and he was like, I was having a kind of a bad day, and you helped turn it around, so thank you. And it's like, and that was it. I was like, oh wow, this is why I want to keep doing this, and it's just been so humbling and really nice that Simply Sassy is so connected to what Kind of Funny do, even in doing its own thing. But I've been a best friend for years, and I went to Kind of Funny London meetup, and so many of those people who I either crossed paths with or met at that meetup, they started streaming during the pandemic or were already streamers, and like FNH Paul, probably Oliver, like these people who. Nerf Alice, of course, and now I'm even closer with them, and you all and so many others, and that was the longest answer to a very straightforward question, but you're going to get that a lot. So yeah, that's it.
Hey, this episode is all about you, so go on as long as you like about whatever you'd like.
Well,
go ahead.
I've obviously told you many times before, Joe, your energy when you stream is very contagious. It's very, you have such a light, positive, welcoming stream that it's not that easy for anybody to just bring out the energy, but you always are always like you said, like you always make people's days better. And so we've had this conversation in the past, but do you ever like turn on stream and you're just like not in a good mood, but you still put on a face just because you want to make sure you put on a good show? You're always the happiest.
So no, well, because you're 100% right. And first of all, thank you for saying that, Cesar. You're so sweet. But that is right. Most people who watch an average stream of mine will come in and I'm singing, I'm joking, I'm gesticulating, it's the Tony Blair hands, and I'm the only one who even gets that reference probably. But I'm a bit all over the place in a fun way and in a contagious way, like you're saying. I want to make people happy with it, but there's been so many points in time. It's weird, and I think a lot of us have experienced this. We maybe found something in terms of making things during the pandemic with other people, by ourselves, developing skills, honing skills, and connecting with each other. But at the same time, the world was just falling apart around us, and that got to me a lot last year. I was working full time up until sort of November, December of last year, and I've just sort of cut back my hours at work, and trying to fit in the streams, and it got to me, not just then, but also at times more recently. I've just you have a bad day, and sometimes you can't pull yourself out of that funk, and there's there's been times where I've said, actually, no, what people will understand if I have to cancel the stream, if it's that bad. I know that it's not necessarily going to make me feel any better, because it can't always do that. I think, Phil, I definitely relate to what you said there earlier on about, sometimes I don't know how I feel about streaming. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's the overwhelming feeling and emotion. But that's not always going to be the case, because just like every day that you have, you're not always going to wake up in a good mood. You're not always going to be feeling your best, especially in the middle of a pandemic. So I've never felt I have to put on a face in answer to you, Cesar. And I know that you I think you've probably seen that as well. I've wanted to be the other thing that I've always wanted my channel to be. We don't necessarily always focus on it, but I deal with anxiety. I deal with depression. I have done so in a very up and down way. My highs are really high for me personally, but my lows can be super low as well. So I've always wanted to be honest with the audience about that. Anyone who's watching, with the people who've now become my friends. And then also the way it ends up on my stream to start out with, let people know I've had a bad day, but like we're gonna try and do something to make it a bit better. We're gonna try and have fun. We're gonna play some Spider-Man or Fall Guys or Mario Kart or whatever, and look to because I know I'm not the only one out there necessarily who's feeling that way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't really know where to go from there, but yeah,
You're good, buddy. You're good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm really bad at picking up after where somebody lives off.
No, you're great, Caesar. I just wanted to make sure that you were done before I asked like any more questions. So
Yeah, you went on for about 2/3 as long last time, so it felt like you came to a natural stopping point, but you could have just easily kept going. So
We're still getting used to this.
you're good.
So one of the things that I really want to know is you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what do you do to combat burnout? Like, are there things you do off stream to combat burnout, or is there like something that always picks you up when you're playing? You mentioned a couple games that you absolutely love playing, like Fall Guys and Mario Kart and stuff like that. But what is it that you do to kind of get out of a slump, so to say?
I think it changes. There is never really, I often turn to.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, everybody, it looks like we lost Joe. He's giving us a great face right now.
Perfect time for that to freeze. Love it.
It's kind of like he's so sad that it crashed. It's just gone in the oblivion.
Yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't me, because my internet has been extremely bad today. I was like,
oh no.
Oh god, I hope it works. Turns out it's working fine for me, which is
Working
nice.
great, yeah. Like I said, you look great. You were saying earlier that your camera was pixelated, but no.
Joe,
My
good.
Yeah.
Just restarted a record. I'm so sorry. I have no idea. I literally do not know what the hell it did that for. It was not. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm on my phone. I'll pop back on to the.
Don't sweat it, dude. Don't worry.
You're good,
about
yeah.
it.
No worries at all. We're just filling time.
Heck yeah.
We can hear the Waluigi's crying, you know?
I think there's a fairly clean edit point though, and it's where you ask me what I do to combat like burnout, right? Like if you guys want to cut,
You wish.
Or we can just leave all this in. This is exactly what people are looking for. When they come to Simply Sassy content, they want to see the darkness. They want to see the flubs.
They want to see
where we're just filling air while our guest
they want to see
dies.
They want to see, yeah, the string that we connected across the Atlantic Ocean, just like disconnected. The tin cans we're holding to put together this Discord call.
Unfortunately, the sharks finally found it and gnawed through it, and it was done. It was over.
It's definitely those like that Bruce, that Fortnite shark, isn't it? That right arsehole who like goes for you no matter what. Like he comes for you.
The loot shark. Oh my gosh! I hope they keep the loot shark. He's such a funny little. Oh, why?
It's been in the game for like what 5 seasons. I'm tired of it.
Oh, poor loot shark.
Tradition now.
It's tradition.
It's from the worst season that Fortnite has ever made, and I just don't like being reminded of that season. It's just
wow.
Shark season, worst season, got it.
Shark season.
I really liked that Waterworld season. That was fun.
I hated it. It was the worst. You're the only person that likes it, Joe. That's how bad it was. Nobody liked it.
They didn't give us a Kevin Costner skin, so it would obviously failed. I'm just saying.
Okay, how's this for a segue? I think that is exactly how you need to combat anything that ever goes wrong. you've just got to bloody laugh about it. You've just got to accept that, like, sometimes your computer's going to shut down of its own accord. Sometimes your, stream is going to go janky. And sometimes you are going to feel like you don't want to, and you don't have the energy. And I this week, and this past month, I really, like, pushed myself quite hard and committed to, the Travis touchdown bit, dressing up for stream all the time, and like playing games which are, they're not like Dark Souls challenging or anything, but like I was like streaming these games, and sometimes you would just get stuck and it would be frustrating, and things would happen which would annoy you, and it even happened right up until the very end. But I also think that I appreciate so much that, and this is not something that everyone has when they stream, when they put out anything into the world of their own creation, something they're passionate about. For so many years, it was only really close friends that were watching those things and engaging with them. Whereas now it's like, I know pretty much nothing's ever guaranteed, but it's like there's people who look forward to my streams. So it's like that I can think about that, and it's like, not only do I enjoy it, but if it can bring some other people, I'm harping on about making other people happy, but it's I love doing it. Like it's and I wouldn't and also I have sometimes you really do need to take a step back and take a proper break. And that's really important as well, whether it is even just making sure you stay off the internet for a day or more than that, and get outside. And I'm not always good at doing these things, especially when you live in England and it's just like raining all the bloody time, which has been most of our summer. But you just need to often the answer is, I think, just, and it's going to be different for everyone, but just do something else. Do something else to combat the burnout, combat the writer's block, combat the, if you sit staring at the blank page, if you just, keep the stream going past the point that you're like, there's no good that can come of necessarily like making yourself more tired and exhausted of something you're meant to enjoy. Take time away from it, and then you'll come back and you'll feel refreshed, even if it's not instant.
Yeah, speaking of taking a break from the internet, I did want to let you know that Ben wanted to be here, but it was a little early for him. He did want me to say hey, and that he loves you, and that he wanted to be here.
I love Ben so much. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun playing Fortnite for his birthday recently. He turned me into Han Solo in a Photoshop. Like, I can't not love that. He's a diamond. No, also. And if it's a bit which I'm about to try and dissect, and the joke then becomes less funny, was that just a joke tweet from Simply Sassy, or did his Twitter actually get suspended? Because I don't know this.
No, he suspended his Twitter account.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Because for a moment I was like, because it's been happening a lot, and I was
no. Ben's tired.
Good.
Yeah, we all freaked out a little bit when his account was not findable until we got a hold of him. And we're like, oh, you're just taking a break, okay.
Completely fair. No, yeah. Sometimes, and that's like we're saying, that's really, and Ben, because Ben is, I've seen Ben posting a lot recently, and that's not a bad thing, because you're like, yeah, it's another Photoshop, it's another funny video or whatever, but it takes a lot out of you. People forget how much energy making anything takes. People underestimate it. People who don't do it. People who might just see it and think, oh, that's fun, that's cool. It's like they don't think about how many hours potentially went into that.
And yeah, for me, like, I have a huge notification problem. Like, I even if I'm like, I'm gonna take a break from Twitter, and then I do that out of just the rhythm of life. Go and I click Twitter, and then I see that I have a bunch of notifications, and then I can't help but look at all of them because they're there. And yeah, sometimes it's just good to get it out of the mind space and just let go for a little while. That's actually one of the things that I really enjoy about where we're moving in with streaming. There's a lot of streamers, even streamers that have been established for a really long time, that are finally kind of talking to their audiences and being like, hey, I need to take a week off. I need to take a break. I need to take a vacation. I need to start like lowering my scheduling or like lowering the days that I'm streaming for my schedule, because people are realizing that this is a lot of mental strain. And I'm kind of happy about that, and I hope it becomes more widespread, because looking at these people that are doing 24-hour streams and streaming 7 days a week, like, you're gonna burn yourself out so quick, unless you're just one of those crazy magic people that can keep going and going and going. But yeah, and then I feel like the people that are in there like complaining that you're not streaming one day, or you lose 100,000 followers or whatever because you didn't stream for one day, like, those people need to chill. Like, you can miss one day of this person streaming. Please let these people have a break.
Yeah, and then you don't want those people around. You don't the people who don't understand, who don't appreciate that you're only human. They're not worth having in a community, or as your fan, whatever you want to call it, an audience member. I wouldn't want to, because it's like, I don't see you doing this. I don't see you trying to maintain this like lifestyle, and it's, if you don't cast that stone if you couldn't have it yourself.
Yeah, it ain't an easy life.
Yeah.
And what also isn't an easy life is trying to like dictate the contents of your stream. For example, if something happens in the industry, some people have to make a choice whether to be silent or to speak up about it. You are very interesting to me because you always speak up about something, even if that topic has long gone. For example, recently we were talking about, what was it? Xbox put out a Far Cry console, and I showed it to you, and you were like, "Fuck Ubisoft executives, they're the worst." Respect to the employees, but like the executives that did all those horrible things, they can fuck right off. That was like ages ago, and people forget about that. And every time something like that comes up, you bring it up. Is that like important to you? That stuff like that doesn't get lost?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would not be continually when it does come up. I make a point now. The only Ubisoft game I don't regularly stream any, and I don't plan to. It's like I used to, last summer, like, I had a really fun time. Every Saturday night I did Just Dance, and it was like, this is the absolute best. Like, I was singing, I was dancing, I was like, mate, I broke you can't see it because of my camera, but like, I broke the light in my room with like a builder's hat that I was wearing for YMCA. It was amazing. It was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was great. But then the Ubisoft stuff came out about, and if people don't know, because some people still won't know, they covered up for sexual abusers. Their workplace culture is still toxic as fuck. Pardon my French, I don't often swear, but when I do, it has to be about something as serious as this. And they have not fixed it. They have not fixed it in the right ways. They have made lip service about this sort of thing, and it sickens me, because it's like, I was like, this thing that I now enjoy is tainted. This thing that has brought people happiness is tainted, for me at least, and I had to stop streaming it. But then when I returned to doing so every so often, I did it for charity. I did it for the Survivors Trust, a charity in the UK here that supports survivors of sexual abuse and harassment and everything. Because I think that because you like, it can be okay. So to go back to something that we were saying earlier on, it's like, you can love something that's flawed, and the gaming industry is one of those things, right? I like to say, like, No More Heroes is my game of the year. No More Heroes 3 is my game of the year. Warts and all, flaws and all. It's rough around the edges. Its overworld design is bad. If it came out that Grasshopper Manufacturer and Suda51, the developer of that game, did so under a toxic, workplace, and they were abusing people who were the developers on it, and Activision Blizzard cube crawls, and it's like, I cannot watch people play Call of Duty anymore. I know so many people, friends who, and I understand if they still want to play it, they still want to jump into the war zone, they still want to stream it. I appreciate that not everyone is going to share that view, but I don't. It's just it starts to make me feel physically sick, because it's like, no person's life, and some people have taken their lives over this shit. No person's life is worth any game. any game, anything that's made. You know, it's just that's really it. I just and it is a and because that happened, yeah, when we were just chatting on
Adobe
you know
stream.
on a community stream like in the Discord, right? And we were just like, yeah, playing a silly game, like, you know, just, you know, goofing off, like whatever. Oh yeah, it was Bilby stream, yeah, wasn't it actually?
Yeah.
But I just, yeah, if anyone ever took issue with me sort of doing that, because the rest of my vibe is sort of like so positive and always trying to like make people, it's like, but you know, you got to take both sides of it. You've got to understand that not everything is rosy and keep calling that out, because otherwise, like, that's why I'm so pleased that the day off Twitch that we took this past week had some, okay, we haven't necessarily seen a direct response from Twitch yet.
There was
You
an
know,
email that was sent out, but
there was
they
an,
didn't really mention it.
yeah, I want more to be happening with that. I want them to be protecting marginalized creators. I want them to actually put tools in place. I want Twitch to be a better place than it currently is for so many streamers and creators. But at least, you know, there was like a drop of like 1 million viewers or something like that, concurrent viewers, or the figure was around that, right?
Like 10%, 12%.
Yeah, 10%. And for a platform like Twitch, that's actually a really big deal. That is a huge amount of people who, like, I remember, like, the most I ever did on Twitch that day, because I was just curious. It's like, let's pop on, see who is actually streaming. And there was one streamer basically I saw all day, and then maybe a couple more popped up, people who I'm not particularly close with. It's like all my friends who were streamers, no one streamed that day. And I was like so happy to see that. I was so pleased, because the only way that we're ever going to actually, and it's difficult to know what actions to take and what's going to be effective, and we're all still trying to figure that out, whether it is voting with your wallets, not buy, you know, I'm choosing not to buy games, you know, like people are really excited for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 or whatever it is coming out, but that's got the Ubisoft name on it. And I know that Davide Soliani is probably not one of those people. He's a good person, you know, but it's just, I don't want money going anywhere near my money going anywhere near that company, because it's like until they actually get everything fixed for the people who are working there. But it's such a complicated issue, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of facets to it.
It's definitely such a hard balance, because you've got people you know, working on these games, like people we even know from, you know, the Kind of Funny best friend community that are working on these things. And it's so hard to like look at Call of Duty Vanguard and go, well, as much as I want to support this person, like if we support this game, are we going to be supporting this abuse machine and all these other things? And then on top of that, you have just this idea of like, what if instead of that, this game doesn't get a lot of support, nobody buys it, so the corporation, the abuse machine, just goes, cool, I guess we're never going to try that idea again. You know, like it's such a hard balance.
Yeah, and we've just got to hope that in making the right choices ourselves, or the best choices we can decide at the time, that then hopefully that has some kind of knock-on effect. But it's it's tough, and it's rough. But no, I appreciate you bringing that up, Cesar, because it is something that is very important to me, definitely.
Yeah, like I completely agree with you in the sense of Warzone was a big part of my like pandemic and post-pandemic life, with all the friends that I've met and you know, people that we ended up making Simply Sassy with, and people that I've gotten to meet and talk to. Like Warzone was a huge part of that. Warzone was a huge part of me getting in contact with Snowbike Mike and working on layouts for him and all this stuff. So like that, it was such a hard thing to like delete off my hard drive, because it was tied to so many good memories. But at the same time, like I don't want to play it. I don't want to spend money in it. Like, uh, this is a dumb thing, but like they're putting Judge Dredd in as a skin for Call of Duty Warzone, and Judge Dredd's like one of my favorite comic book characters, and I'm just like, nope. I'm not gonna spend the money. I'm just gonna sacrifice like ever getting the chance to get that skin, because it's just not worth the support.
Yeah. Similarly, yeah. I got my PlayStation last year. Not well, like not for Call of Duty, but like because that was the only place that everybody in the community was playing. So I was like, I'll just get this PlayStation, and that was like one of the first games I downloaded. Um, it was easy for me to uninstall because I didn't like Warzone, but like it was still just like a lot of memories there. But it was like still, yeah, it's a hard call to make. But like even then, I don't think necessarily because somebody wants to keep playing a game because they like it is a bad person. But
Completely.
Yeah.
it's just what they enjoy. And so I really hate this mentality that's like I'm better than you because I stopped doing this, but you're still doing it and you're a bad person. And that's not what you're saying, Joe. It's
No,
like,
yeah,
No,
exactly,
definitely
yeah,
not.
it's like
precisely, yeah.
enjoy what you want to enjoy, but also think about what's going on.
Yeah,
It's-
and I've had conversations with people, and who are going to continue playing that game, and it's not as if like, oh, all of a sudden that person can't be my friend anymore. Like it's like
Yeah.
no, it's a lot. You know, if they start becoming an arsehole about it, then that's a different matter. And then it turns out I don't necessarily want to be their friend anyways. But you know, that was. Yeah, it's
Yeah, if they're gonna turn around and like put you down for not playing it or something. Oh, you're worried about these stupid things on the internet. Come on, just play the game with us, bro. They're probably
Yeah.
not the person you
Fucking
want.
snowflake.
yeah.
Oh God.
I know, yeah. Well, I'm sure we all know, or at least one person.
Sure.
Um,
Absolutely.
but on a different note, we've talked about this before. It's funny. A lot of the things I'm bringing up, I've talked to Joe about before.
Hit me.
I think it's hilarious. Your branding, Joe Medforce, like the whole purple lightsaber and everything about it. I think that's hilarious because I don't know how many people actually know this. The day you had your first stream was May 4th. May the
Wasn't
4th be
Medforce
with
back
you.
then though. The
It
only
wasn't Joe
remnant.
Medforce.
It wasn't Joe Medforce. I was going by like my real name, which is very close to my online
Very
name. Anyways.
unimaginative. No, just kidding.
I know, yeah. Well, it's just because I had made a choice at one point earlier on to have my real name on all my socials, but on Twitch I couldn't get it. I couldn't
Yeah.
have Joe. No. So I had like J and then my last name, and every time I was in anyone's chat, they didn't know what to call me.
Mhm.
But I had put on because I was only streaming and playing on Switch, and the first game I streamed was Fortnite, which is like it's still weird to me.
They had a
but
Star Wars event.
they had the Star Wars event, so I was like, yeah, let's get into this. Let's have some fun. And Simply Sassy co-conspirator Kumail was the very first person to follow me on Twitch and to be in my chat. Active in my chat, which is still, and I met him at the Kind of Funny London meetup, trading Pokemon, of course, with him, which was so awesome.
So if you have anybody to blame for Joe's streams, blame Camille. He's the enabler.
He is. If he hadn't been there on that first day, maybe I wouldn't be here right now. I can't imagine that. But yeah, no, I had Medforce as my like Nintendo Switch name because I couldn't do my full name. Like there weren't enough characters. Nintendo has a weird like character limit. It's like 10 or 12 characters or something. So I just had Medforce, and then a while into me streaming, maybe a couple of months in, 2-3 months or something like that, I was just on. I think, funnily enough, I think I was playing Call of Duty Warzone long before the Activision Blizzard stuff came out last year. I was playing that with like Reaper's Past and Scooter Cannon and some other amazing people, and I was like, hey, what do you think about like maybe I should just make my name like Joe Medforce? Like maybe I should just change that, and they were like, yeah, that sounds cool, and I was like, oh, cool, I like being cool. So yeah, I switched it all over and changed I managed to get it on. Fortunately, I don't think anyone else has ever decide to call themselves Joe.
Oh, there he goes again. There he goes again.
Oh my God, this is even better. We just got the what's the face? Oh my God.
That's not a PogChamp. That is not a Pog.
Oh, it's so close to a PogChamp. You can't even say that that's not.
It's not.
The only difference is that his eyes aren't open.
Hey Joe, you back?
That was perfect.
I'm so gonna make a PogChamp emote out of that now.
He already has one.
I don't
Now
even
he'll have
care.
it too.
Do another one. Oh wow.
frame?
Wait, what was that, Joe?
Is there a frame of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the frame looked like almost looked like a PogChamp emote.
I think maybe my computer is just used to me being active on it all the time, so it's like, no, we're just going to go into sleep mode if you let it.
Oh no.
Oh, okay,
Sounds about right.
Okay, I'll try and.
So I guess we're adjusting settings now.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Third time's the charm, gang.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh man, that's great.
This has been absolutely incredible.
I mean, it's going to be one of the most memorable recording sessions you guys have ever done. If for nothing else than the absolute train wreck of all of that. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Jose Ruckus was pretty technical difficulty filled as well, and it was just as great as this.
But also, I don't think I've ever had this before. That's the craziest part. Like Cesar and I've recorded for like like an hour or more. I genuinely don't know what it's doing. It must be a window. No wonder Greg Miller is just like, no, screw PC. Like I'm starting to get on his wavelength.
Oh man, that's perfect.
Okay. I'll be honest, can't necessarily remember where we were talking about. I'm so bad at my bloody computer.
To be fair, I don't remember either. But that's how most of our shows go.
I found it. I found
one
it.
ear out of the other ear.
Gage just can't. He just doesn't deal. He's done.
Oh, good to be back.
Anyway. So yeah, podcasts. All right. But yeah, we were talking about the Medforce branding, and you find it's a weird amalgamation of things. It's just I love the Star Wars. I literally purchased very recently this Mandalorian Grogu art from my amazing artist friend Gary Moore.
Gary,
and
I recognize that one.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I saw it on his Instagram. I was like, I must have it. Please let me purchase it from you.
I really like the Medforce because med being like medical and then force like healing force is like what I always looked at it as, just because of how positive you are and like how much that you are like always making people happy and talking about the people that have been in your stream and like, hey, you really lifted my day up. Like, I don't know. I always kind of attributed it to like the healing force or the med force. So that was my interpretation.
That's okay. I'm been doing this a goddamn year now, and even the closest that's ever come to that was I was in someone else's chat, my friend Shaky Jake, and he was just like, "Oh, are you?" You're in the NHS. You're a medical guy too. I was like, no, sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it had that connotation. But with your permission, Phil, I will take the healing force anytime, and I will. Absolutely. That's gonna get folded into the branding binder that I don't actually have. That's amazing. Yeah, that is so very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah, I honestly didn't realize that it was a play on your last name.
Yeah,
I literally
no, only the people closest to me would know. Yeah, so it's slightly fun for them, but everyone. Hey, exactly. See
all the Instagram poses in one go. Oh man, that's awesome.
No, I just think it's really funny. I just love that. That's such an unintentional.
That's great.
It's such an unintentional like coincidence that it just lined up.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, it all came together. Yeah, after the fact. But I think that's the fun thing about this kind of thing is like people when you meet someone who's got such and mine is by no means this. It's not refined. It's it's not like targeted. It's quite haphazard in a lot of ways. But when you like the kind of funny brand, right? Or anyone online or IGN or, IGN's a bit more of like a, monolith, but just the idea of, someone who's got their brand sorted all of it is just built up over time. No brand or person or personality comes out and starts their career where they're the same 1 year as they are to the next, to the next, to the next. It's all built up over time, isn't it? So it's all just part of it.
You will always keep growing and changing and building.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I want to make sure I do keep doing. I get bored easily. Like I get frustrated. I couldn't just do the same thing over and over again.
Same here. I'm bored right now.
Oh, Gage.
I love you,
To be
Gage.
fair, I was bored
so-
before the show started. I've been bored all day. That's just
So
I got
I
that.
gotta ask, since we have both of you on in the same place in the same room, and we're recording this, which one of you do you think is the bigger Star Wars fan?
Oh,
Oh
are you
wow,
talking about
dead
Gage
air.
and Joe or
Yeah,
who?
yeah, Gage and Joe. Who else would it be?
Well,
don't
if I count, I don't see. I mean, I know he's got the bokeh effect on. I don't see no Star Wars in Gage's background. I got Empire Strikes Back
wow.
poster.
Uh-oh. You just
He's
opened
like,
a
he's
door,
like, turn the
Joe.
effect off.
So there's my Return of the Jedi saber. There's
Ooh,
my
ooh.
Kylo Ren Supreme Leader lightsaber, and behind this bookshelf, I also have the Obi-Wan. Yeah, it's Obi-Wan's saber. So
When did you get any of those sabers? How old is any of them respectively?
I mean, the Kylo's got to be,
the
No,
Kylo's-
the colors.
Yeah, the Kylo's fairly new. I mean, I've got them all within the past couple years. So
Yeah, no. So you're a Star Wars poser, whereas this is a lightsaber that is so old you can barely see the blue on it anymore. This is an original Luke Anakin Force Effects lightsaber that cost me I got it for a birthday.
I
It
own
cost me a good couple
two
hundred
different
pounds.
versions of the original trilogy on VHS.
I never owned them, but I wore out my brother's copies of the tapes.
Who's the
So
fake
yeah.
fan now, Joe? You guys have cute collections and all, but do any of you have a poster from the movie Solo on your door?
the beloved Star Wars prequel.
I own at least one copy of every movie. Like I even bought like 4K
Every movie.
versions of all the ones that I like. Star Wars movies. Star Wars movies.
There's a difference between every movie and every movie from
there is.
the series.
Shut up.
No, yeah, I will say is
but
I'm not in competition.
Wait for the punchline. I own every Star Wars movie on Blu-ray, and then I have like 4K copies of like the main saga.
Yeah.
I have every single one of them on this black bookshelf, sorted alphabetically with all my other movies, except my copy of The Last Jedi and Solo, which are in a different room, out of sight.
Yeah, well, if you don't like The Last Jedi, you're not a true Star Wars fan. So let's just I love that. It's my favorite of the sequel trilogy, and it's
really.
Gage. Okay, Gage. Let me just ask you, what do you think of The Rise of Skywalker?
I wound up enjoying it more than Last Jedi because it's a more fun movie, but I think like plot-wise, it's kind of still just as garbage, although it is structured as a film better than Last Jedi was. Last Jedi has no proper development. It has a couple good key moments for characters, but the overall story arc of that film could have been erased, and we would have still started The Rise of Skywalker at the same exact point. There would only been like maybe 2 or 3 key moments in that movie that actually mattered. Whereas Rise of Skywalker was a complete shit show, but it was really cool and pretty and fun.
One day we'll break open a couple beers. We'll have like a much longer,
Dude, I
probably
could go,
off the record.
I could go for
podcast.
hours like breaking down why I don't like The Last Jedi.
That's fair, and I can go for hours about why I love it.
Yeah,
so,
that's
you know,
totally fair.
yeah.
Instead of destroying pieces of art, I wanted to do a short little quiz. These are going to be easy questions, hopefully, for these two Star Wars fans.
Oh,
Ah,
damn!
Jesus.
Oh, damn! I didn't realize I was going to get
Quiz show.
tested
Look at all those
today.
quiz shows.
I do love
Okay,
quizzes.
this
to be
should
fair,
be
yeah.
pretty
Ladies and
easy.
gentlemen,
Well.
welcome back to another episode of Game Sass.
Oh, you're gonna edit it, or you're gonna
Hell
put the
no.
work into it?
Dude,
Where
I scrapped
does
it and started
Luke
over from
Meet
scratch.
Master
so, like,
Yoda
it's-
for the first time.
Wait, what? Luke, Master Dagobah.
Wait, say it again. Nobody heard it, Phil.
Yeah.
They heard it, obviously. We got it. We
Oh.
got it. I told you we're starting off with an easy one. Who was the original owner of the Millennium Falcon?
Lando Calrissian.
I like
Oh,
the
see?
nod
See?
just to
See?
show. Gage,
Yeah, no, I
Gage
did.
nodded.
I said yeah when he was like Dagobah. I was like, yeah. It's Dagobah.
Yeah, so you know, I just want to say Gage nodded. These are just dumb questions, by the way. Who gets credit for figuring out a way to cheat death?
Oh my God,
Darth
Jim.
Plagueis the Wise.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, Darth Plagueis the Wise. I was thinking of.
I mean, yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
thinking
it,
of episode 3 when Qui-Gon figured out the Force Ghost thing, but you were absolutely right as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, because Qui-Gon I don't think actually gets name dropped as it.
He does
They're
it
like-
at the very end of Revenge of the Sith. Yoda's
Yeah.
like, you're, oh, Master, train you, he will, and Qui-Gon, teach you, I will, And then,
Yeah. So basically,
yeah.
I think even just 3 questions in, like we're one, and then we both come up with equally nerdy answers.
Just on
so
the
you
equally
can
nerdy.
basically just say
So,
it's a dead
we've only got 2 more. Like I said, these are relatively easy because I didn't want to do anything too crazy on the show. But who did Han Solo shoot in the cantina?
Greedo.
Greedo, of course. And
Like I said,
he did shoot first in the original movie. He
Mm.
Phil,
shot
you should have
first.
started with that question.
And
That's
really,
like the easiest
really,
question you'll ever
really
ask.
shitty edit in the remakes to make him just like
Mhm.
go to the. Oh God.
McClunky. I'm so pleased. I almost got a spit take.
That's the best piece of Star Wars content to come out of the last 10 years.
That was great.
Like, that's the best thing.
I don't love the fact that it keeps getting re-edited. Like Han should still shoot first. It should be the way it originally was in the original film. But McClunky's bloody funny. Like I can't lie. Like McClunky's hilarious.
That's the
Anyways,
best thing that happened to Star Wars in the last like 10 years.
All right. In which movie were fans first introduced to the Empire's AT-AT walkers?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful stop motion animation.
Who won,
Oh,
Phil?
God,
Who
amazing.
were you keeping track?
They both won. They're both winners in my heart.
To be fair, we actually
100%.
both came up with like
Yeah.
the same points. So
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, there was that one where Joe got that question right. Were you the cheating death?
No, again. Yeah, Phil never even actually came out. What was the answer you had for the cheating death one, Phil? Was it Darth Plagueis?
It was
would've
Plagueis.
been
It was
Plagueis.
Plagueis the
Yeah,
Wise.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the technically right answer. But like you guys went on a nerdy little rant, so I just got to give it to both of you on that
Yeah,
one.
you got to give both a point. Yeah.
This isn't Jeopardy. This isn't Joshpardy, you know? This isn't Jeopardy. This isn't Macpardy.
This isn't Vitspardy. Everyone.
Vitspardy.
This isn't Billy the Door trivia. Like, yeah. Everyone does their own version of Jeopardy.
This is just I have 2 Star Wars fans on the show, and I wanted to.
I want to
play
keep
with
going. I just want to keep doing Star Wars trivia.
Okay. On which planet do Luke and Han ride on Tauntauns? This is a really easy question. I don't know why this is
Yeah.
on here. This is a horrible quiz. I was really hoping this would be a little harder.
What's
Cesar,
Luke's last name?
Cesar,
Okay.
that
All right,
look
here we
is
go.
like, where's the solo questions? You know, like
Yeah,
No,
right,
it's like
right.
who doesn't know that? Who doesn't fucking know that?
This
All right, this
planet.
is from. Wait,
is
wait.
okay.
Phil, where did you get this quiz?
This is from Quizoto.
I got a quiz here that says the hardest Star Wars quiz you'll ever take. This
Oh,
is from
Oh.
joe.co.uk.
Oh God.
Oh,
okay,
perfect.
I'm
okay.
familiar with this
I love
site.
it.
I have an
Oh.
ongoing legal battle. No, I don't.
Nice.
What is the first line of dialogue spoken in A New Hope?
In A New Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Starts with the battle sequence.
It's R2. It's C3PO speaking to R2D2, and he says like, oh. He's like, oh.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, he's
Because it's a little bit into the movie. You're talking a couple minutes in.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the actual?
Hmm.
What does he actually say?
Did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor.
Yeah. But he says it in that way, so yeah.
How does Boba Fett appear to die?
And he falls into the Great Pit of Carcoon and is eaten by the Sarlacc monster that dwells there.
That's more detailed than the actual answer.
then we
but
thought
Yeah,
he was
100%
gonna
it is
die.
because Joe.co.uk got nothing on Joe
Yeah.
Medforce for that.
Could have been digested over the course of 1,000 years, but hey, somehow he got out. Which makes sense. He had thermal detonators. You pop a couple of those, you blow it open, you climb out. It's whatever.
Ready to return in.
I got one here that I actually don't know the answer to, and it's this planet is the birthplace of the Jedi Order.
Oh God. Oh, this has been
I
so
want to
long.
take a hit.
This is like
Uh.
all this stuff is covered in Knights of the Old Republic, but I haven't played that in such a long time.
No. Essentially, this is what I call a Jim Tasty, Jet Bramerson, Brett question. These are the questions that when I did Star Wars trivia with like Rumble Pack and Brett, hosted by Billy. All of these are like deep lore questions that aren't actually covered in any of the movies. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. I have to confess, I do not know. And also, I've got a life, so no.
I'm waiting. I'm
it-
waiting.
Korriban?
No,
I don't think it's Korriban.
it's Octu. I
Octi.
think I'm pronouncing that right. AHCH-TO. And I got that on a freaking whim.
Yeah.
It says the planet Octu is the birthplace of the Jedi Order. Thought to be lost, the planet was discovered again by Luke Skywalker during his self-imposed isolation after his failed attack on Kylo Ren.
Oh God, so
So-
they actually tried to canonize it in the modern day. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why? Why would they do crap like that when they have the whole expanded universe? They were like, we're gonna throw this out. All this
Oh,
stuff
man.
we loved,
Dude.
like, hey, but we're gonna bring it back. Like, we got rid of
How-
Thrawn, but then we brought Thrawn back. And then we got
How
rid of Leia being a
cool.
Jedi, but then we brought Leia being a Jedi back. And then we got Jesus.
How
Christ.
cool would it have been had we gotten the book series, the like post-movie trilogy book series as
Dude.
movies? Oh man.
Yeah.
I think that no matter what, and unfortunately Gage's reaction to all of that sort of thinking, it breaking his brain, is really the epitome of no matter what, you're never gonna please everyone, and there's a lot of everyone when it comes to Star Wars fans, isn't
And
it?
if
Like
you're
it's
Disney,
just
if you're Disney Star Wars, you're never gonna please anyone.
they made $1 gajillion. They're happy. They're
It's
happy.
true.
Their
Hey,
stakeholders
they gave
are
us
very
Rogue
happy.
One, so I'm happy.
Oh man, this totally got off the rails. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
everybody.
In the meantime, Mac's like these old ass people arguing over movies about
Boomers.
space wizards intended for children.
I think I've seen 3 Star Wars movies. Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's all you need.
any- Yeah,
To be
1,
fair,
2, and 7. There we go.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
1, 2, and 7. It's like she just went into this is like a bargain bin and just like, yeah, here we go.
Arguably 2 of the worst ones and then a good one. But my God, what a choice.
Oh, that's incredible. Mac, you're my favorite. It's so good. That's the perfect way to bring the Star Wars conversations to a close.
Well, then let's bring it back to McKenna. Do you have any questions for Joe, McKenna?
Now, I usually have a sticky note of questions, but I forgot my sticky notes at home, so it's on a napkin.
God
from
damn
dinner
it!
The other night.
Oh,
God damn it,
napkin!
McKenna.
Love it, love it.
So first question: what has been the coolest opportunity since like starting everything? Since like you started streaming, since everything.
On
You
the
summoned-
day that Fall Guys Season 3 released last year, it was a day that I wasn't streaming, but a friend of mine, FNH Paul, was playing Fall Guys on that day with a gentleman who I think you guys may know.
Mhm.
I've mentioned him already, and I will always continue to mention him because he's a huge inspiration to me. Snowbike Mike. Snowbike Mike, he's the reason I started playing Fall Guys first of all. Like, I saw him streaming it on the beta weekends. I did not have a PC at the time. I didn't have a PS4, so there was no way for me to play Fall Guys. But I ended up getting a laptop like to stream from, a PC, and was able to play it the week it came out. Like, his energy, his passion, his enthusiasm will always be such a huge inspiration to me. And the first time that I ever got to play Fall Guys with him was on the release of season 3, which was like the winter season. So it was like Snowbike Mike's like ideal. Like, he had the bean skin with the snowboard on the back and all sorts. And yeah, he was playing it with FNH Paul, who I knew and I'd played games with before. And then I just, in the chat, I was just like, I shot my shot. I was like, screw it. I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm not streaming. I was like, hey, let me know if you need, anyone else. I said, like, FNH Paul can vouch for me. And Mike was like, no, Joe, I know you, like, no one needs to vouch for you. Yeah, sure. Hop in. And then I jump in to play Fall Guys with Mike and Paul, and not like a few minutes later, 5 minutes later or something, Gary Whitta, of course, Animal Talking host, co-writer of Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Don't forget Book of Eli.
A Book of Eli, exactly. Kind of funny, Games Daily legend. Hops in and he's like, oh yeah, I've got time for a few games, Mike, before we go. And so the full squad is me, FNH Paul, Snowbike Mike, and Gary Whitta. We got to play the new season of Fall Guys. We had a lot of fun. And I sang Spandau Ballet's Gold with Gary Whitta on stream, and the moment is lost forever because earlier in the stream, like, some copyrighted audio got played or something, and so the stream like didn't get saved as a VOD. But it doesn't matter because the memories will last a lifetime. And just in general, the it's sort of extended from like a single opportunity like that, which happened again sort of by chance, but. I really do appreciate everything, like whether it's been a raid on occasion or even just sort of almost like I feel like in a weird little way, Snowbike Mike has, and I've just started watching this recently, so it's like imbued in my head. It's like Snowbike Mike is like the Ted Lasso on the sidelines, like the super encouraging coach, and I'm like the young rookie, out on the pitch or whatever. And it's really been I'm not even like directly close with him, because of course it's still one of those like weird like creator like fan in a way, but also mutual. I feel like he has I feel he respects me as a creator as well as someone who enjoys like being part of his community and part of the kind of funny best friends. And I think that's because he came up from being a best friend, being a community member. He knows that, he sees that. So and he's been really, really supportive and kind over the past year, and that's really been something that I've cherished. And yeah, oh god, there's just so many things like that I could name, but yeah, that's probably the thing that sticks out in my mind the most, for sure.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
So I see, is that a cross stitch in your background by chance?
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's a really fun story. Hold on. I'll grab
Yes.
it. I'll grab it. Hold on.
I'm McKenna. Wow. Eyeballs.
Stumbling. My room is an absolute like.
What's funny is that I know about this cross stitch too, but I didn't see it.
We got Eli Mac in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, dang.
I can spot a cross stitch hoop from a mile away.
So yeah, this was made by my friend Tiana, and it is the first like stream gift I ever got given by anyone. She made it for me and sent it to me. She's a mutual friend of myself and my wife, and yeah, it's so cute. It's really, really sweet. And she was like, what's your fourth? Yeah, sorry if you guys can't see it probably, and I don't want to like mess with my camera too much, but it's
like Leia, Han, Chewbacca, Yoda, and then it says something, but I can't read it.
It says "May the Force be with you."
Nice.
Yeah, she was like, "What's your favorite 4 Star Wars characters?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, these 4." So, and she made that little cross stitch, which is really, really sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No. Yeah. I love that. That was you were like, I've written this down on the napkin too. Is this a cross stitch in the background?
Cross stitch. You can't read that. It says cross stitch background.
That's awesome.
You're amazing, Mac. That's so good.
Telling you, eagle eyes. Like I never in a million years would have been like, is that a cross stitch? Which is
Like,
so dope.
It's
Well,
circular.
you don't
looks kind of
cross-stitch, Phil.
beige.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. I have that same hoop in my house back home. I know the wood. I know the wood. I know the little knob at the top. Oh yeah. Oh no. I know all about them.
That's awesome.
Cross
So
stitch
good.
sense was tingling.
That's
No.
fantastic. Really quick, while we're somewhat on the subject of Star Wars via that cross stitch, I do want to bring up one of my favorite quotes from Rahul Kohli, and that's Star Wars has and always will be a restaurant. We all love eating there. We don't like every dish on the menu, and that's okay. You're not supposed to. Order what you like, avoid what you don't, and don't worry about what others are having. And don't be a dick to the staff.
That is such an answer for fandoms. Like,
Right.
like being a fan of anything. That's incredible. Oh my god, I can't believe I've never known and heard that being said by. Oh, good. Yes, Rahul.
It's in your
What a
DMs now.
legend. Oh, hell yes. Thank you.
Was that your last question, McKenna?
I
Or-
also wanted to bring up one more thing.
Perfect.
Your Pizza John koozie that you have on your can. I have not thought about Pizza John in a very long time, and that unlocked a lot of memories
What is
in my
that?
head. It is John Green.
Yeah, so this is famed author and vlog brother John Green. For those who don't know, he wrote The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the
Paper
Way
Towns.
Down, Paper Towns, that have been
Towns.
made into major Hollywood motion pictures. I've been a nerd fighter and a Vlog Brothers fan for well over a decade now. And yeah, I ordered this from their store. The Pizza John is a weird thing of their community, and who doesn't love pizza? And in a weird way, I had my own sort of I put on a mustache this summer because people seem to like it. So yeah, I did Hot Stash Summer, and everyone was somehow all about it. The dad vibes were real. So yeah,
Joe,
it's a
bring
little
back
bit
the
of that.
beard.
Bring back the beard. Yeah, it's growing back in. It's growing back in. The Travis touchdown clean shave is no more. So it goes anywhere now.
No Shave November happening soon, so
I don't know how
Exactly.
many people know about your beard. I don't know how many people like. Were
To be
there
fair,
for it.
yeah. I did the pandemic thing of like growing out like a
was a
great big
beard.
bushy beard.
It was a beard. Like,
I'll take a
Yeah.
Shaun
few
of
more-
the Dead reference any day.
a few more weeks and he would have been in ZZ Top. Like that's how.
Definitely, yeah. No, I stuck it out over the summer with that. The worst time to grow a beard. Grow a beard in the winter. No shave November when it makes sense to keep that warm. The summer, it's just like, especially when you start like wearing a mask with that. Oh, it's just sweat city. It's so bad.
McKenna, you have some community questions too, right?
Of course I do.
I don't want to think about sweaty beards anymore.
Oh, we're talking about
Good-
sweaty
good
beards.
segue.
Yes, my first community question that I've got here is from one Mr. Mac 92. Shout out to Sean.
Yes.
He's got what is that, 3 question marks that I see? Okay, so first question. With the year of Medforce under your belt, are you happy with your current progress, and where do you see your streams next year?
Because I am a classic like over preparer, I have like looked at these questions already from Twitter, and I have like some notes. So if you see me glancing off to the side, I've got to be honest. This is where I'm not like scripting them, but yeah. Considering how much the Medforce has grown as a community and how far I've personally come since starting streaming, I'm really proud and happy with what we've accomplished together. But I do definitely want to keep improving and do more, because there's a balance between streaming, making videos, and real life that is something I'm still figuring out, to be honest. I'm still trying to get on the right side of it. I tend to sort of go pretty hard with something like the No More Heroes streams I was doing this past month, pushing it and promoting and that kind of thing. And it's great when that pays off, but also even in the day to day when it's just the regular sort of, you know, streams and creating things, it's difficult to always come up with stuff. So yeah, I don't quite know where I'll be, you know, next year, but more recently I think I've started to grow as you know, really start to see the Medforce as a place where people can even just like hang out. Like people over the past year have been doing like, you know, sitting in a Discord channel, much like we are, not necessarily recording something, not necessarily like streaming anything, but just like hanging out, playing games, even separate games from each other and just chatting and having fun. And we did that for the first time properly, really, in the Medforce Discord this past week, when we took the day off Twitch. And it was really good fun. And I had a really nice time doing that. And so I want to do more stuff like that. We've been doing like movie nights every couple of weeks, which were also really fun. And I think also that leads into maybe wanting to expand what I do, because I have such a passion for music. I have such a passion for films. And although I think one of the main sort of key pieces of advice, you know, that people keep harping on about when it comes to making stuff online, it's like, find your niche, you know, just do the one thing and do it over and over again. And just like, I can't, you know, I'm gonna, even if this is always going to end up being sort of a, you know, part-time stream for full-time dream, like even if I'm never able to make a full-time career out of it, I want to keep doing stuff that I find engaging. You know, I rambled on about the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser recently on YouTube for like 25 minutes, and I love doing it because I haven't done that properly in a long time. I hadn't made any videos about movies for the longest time. So yeah, I think it's mainly about just also just experimenting. I've always been a fan of experimenting, and with what I do, that was the Travis touchdown whole thing, playing No More Heroes, very different games to what I usually do, very different streams to what I usually do, and so it was just a big experiment overall, and it worked more than it didn't. It was a lot of fun. So that's the key thing. Keep it fun. Keep it fresh. Funky fresh beats.
Of course.
Sorry.
His second question
I
was.
knew that would guess. I knew that would guess that.
I love Paz.
Sorry.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Sorry, Matt. Go on.
Worms.
You're good. His next question was, what was the biggest push to actually start streaming?
It really was, as we've sort of touched on previously, just the need to just do something. I'd hit a bit of a slump creatively, and it was something that I think I'd almost, because my idea of streaming before I actually started doing it was very much like, oh, it's the thing that Ninja does, and it's like, you know, the people who want to be really good at games, and it's like that. I've never been that person, so it was mostly just trying something out, and you know, so that I didn't drive myself totally crazy during the pandemic. And it really, and it became a lifeline for me. It really did, in the best way. So I'm so glad that I just took the leap. And it was also good that I had an idea of, even with a, you know, I started streaming on like a, you know, 2015 MacBook, which barely was able to stream anything. It's like I had an idea of what I wanted to do, the way I wanted to present myself on camera. You know, make it look as good as it can, lighting wise, without spending too much money, just to dip my toe in the water. So it really was, yeah, the pandemic essentially. And also I think I knew a few people kind of doing it already tangentially in the community, other best friends doing it. So it made that leap a little bit easier, having seen them either start it during the pandemic or, you know, they were already doing it on the regular basis. So it was probably only a matter of time. It was like, you know, that was what finally brought me to it though.
And then his final question was, on the days you struggle to hit live, what is your strategy to get yourself ready and hype? Which I think we touched on a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we definitely covered it in detail earlier on, but I think my strategy to get hype is just to try, especially because it's usually like my regular job that ends up bringing me down on a given day. So it's just thinking about how, oh yeah, what am I going to focus on with this? So like yesterday, I had a bad work day, but it was like, oh, damn, we're going to get back into playing Fall Guys again. I haven't been streaming for a few days, and I haven't played Fall Guys in a while. the King Louis skin that they just put in the game from the Jungle Book is the most horrific thing I've ever seen. But like, this Fall Guys King bit is kind of a thing for me. So you know what? Let's just try and get it. Let's get wild. Let's have something fun. I went and bought like sour jelly beans, which are the mildest thing I've ever eaten. It turns out, but it was like, yeah, let's try this out. And also stuff like to just give yourself stuff to look forward to. It's not been I think a lot of people might see something, like I unboxed this painting on stream yesterday, and like it was only me and the artist Gary Moore who knew that I had bought it from him, and like our friend Mr. Mac who's asked these questions. But I was like, you know what? It's fun to surprise people. It's Star Wars. It's cool. It's connected. It has nothing to do with Fall Guys and bloody Jungle Book, but like it's nice to share that kind of thing with people, and it's it's rare actually. Like I've opened a lot of things on stream. I've unboxed a lot of things, but I'm not an unboxing streamer. Like I'm not I'm not militant about making content with it. But it's like we all like to get stuff in the mail and open it up. Like it's a fun thing. So like sharing that with people and having people go like, oh my god, that looks so cool. Like it's thinking about stuff like that helps me go, because it's a way to have it not be such an isolating thing, in terms of you're not the only one enjoying it. It's making other people happy as well along the way.
Now, that King Louis skin, are you saying that's more horrifying than the Sonic skin?
I've almost become, the Sonic skin has almost faded into the background of Fall Guys for me, because I don't see that many people wearing it right now. I didn't get it at the time because I don't think I had even enough crowns for it or whatever. But I think it is because you've just got like this orangutan face sitting atop the bean with the big it's a lot. It's a lot.
I love the
And they
Baloo
really
skin.
sorry.
I think the Baloo skin, the bear.
Yeah.
I think that one's really cute.
Yeah, I think the blue skin and the Shere Khan skin look great. And it's just, but also it's just because King Louis is not meant to, they made Christopher Walken play him in the remake, and it's like,
oh my god, nightmare fuel.
Exactly,
I thought he was
right?
Great.
I thought it was such a weird rendition of the song, and it's like it's actually it's meant to, and actually I think it's meant to be a little unsettling, but also it's like it's weird because we associate Disney with everyone's favorite thing, right? Frozen and Olaf and or Disney and Star Wars and Marvel now, and like making kids happy. But it was like actually King Louis is nightmare fuel.
I'm just saying that I watch a lot of horror movies, and I have not been disturbed by those as much as I was disturbed by the Christopher Walken King Louis scene. I'm saying.
I'm the king of the swingers, ooh, the jungle VIP. Like, it's been a while since I've seen it, so my impression's probably quite off. But he did not even attempt to sing it like he wasn't Christopher Walken, and for that I have unlimited respect.
Respect, absolutely. Now, Gage, you have a community question, I believe, from one Mr. Mac as well. As well.
Are you sure, Phil? I don't remember if you sent me one. Mr. Mac, he asked a question. He wants to know how are you?
I was wondering, having recently listened to having recently listened to an episode of Simply Sassy where Phil, of course, walks out his incredible David Hayter Snake impression, right? I think you're pretty good. Like I was wondering, and I forgot that, of course, Gage has got a catalog, and that was so good, Gage. Sorry, Chris. Thanks, Chris Walken, for that question.
You're welcome, Joe.
Can you just do me a favor, Chris, and can you say Foo Fighters for me, please?
Foo Fighters.
Yes! It's the emphasis on the fool or the fighters. I'm Mr. Mac. I'm great. I'm laughing and smiling on a Saturday night, and I've had a really good week overall. So thank you for asking, Mr. Mac.
Shout out
Awesome.
to Hoodie Peaks for not being the person who asked that question this week, because
Uh,
Mr. Mac beat him.
I would like to say
Hood-
in parentheses on that tweet, he says, "Suck it, Penny
He
Marbles."
does. So
Or are you
I
gonna say,
love-
Caesar?
I was gonna say Hoodie says Mr. Mac stole my question, so I'll ask: is Nessie real?
Yes. Categorically, yes. I believe, and I hope you all do too. Yes, the Loch Ness Monster is real.
Oh man. All right. So speaking of Kumail an hour ago, segue. Kumail said,
job.
I'd love to know Joe's gaming history and also what is a game that he thought he wouldn't like but ended up loving? And then he uses a period instead of a question mark.
This is where it all began. My original yellow Game Boy Pocket. It came with a copy of Super Mario Land, and I've been obsessed with Nintendo ever since. All the way from there up into Game Boy Advance. My original, now really like discolored Glacier Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
I know. It doesn't even work
Like,
anymore.
wait, that was Glacier?
It's meant to be the Glacier. This is meant to be the Glacier, and it just looks like
it's like all with the yellowing and everything. It just
yeah, I
looks
know.
like
This is what happens over
it
time.
looks
Yeah,
moldy.
So cool.
It's so gross.
it is gross. It is gross. I got as a kid somehow I got chocolate in the speaker grill.
Oh no.
No.
That thing is dead and gone, but it's still got it. And then of course Nintendo DS, Wii, and I took a break from there. Unfortunately, in my gaming, I did get a 3DS a few years later, and I played a lot of Xbox 360 at my mate's place. Like we had fun playing like Halo and Gears of War co-op, and PlayStation here and there. And then I eventually got a PlayStation 3 Slim as like a Blu-ray player, and I also played the Uncharted trilogy on it, and had a good time with that, and a few other games here and there.
Did you
And
play Metal Gear Solid 4?
no, I've not played Metal Gear Solid 4. I've not.
I've never seen
I've
Gage
not.
look so offended in his
I
life.
can't believe you've never played Metal Gear Solid 4. What are you doing?
I once rented Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes on GameCube. That's the one I haven't mentioned actually. I got a GameCube as well. I'm sure you love that one. I'm sure you love it. It's a great movie. And then when it came out and when it was announced in October of like 2016, literally around my birthday, I of course got a Nintendo Switch, which everyone knows because I used to only stream Switch games, and this is still my launch unit, and I love it very much, and it's the best console of all time in my view, I think probably. And then to cap off the gaming history, an amazing friend and fellow charity. He's a charity streamer primarily, Reese Boy. He usually raises money for the NHS. Everyone go check out Reese Boy. He does stream raiders and colors in rude words on his channel. He's amazing. Very chill vibes, very positive mental health outlook as well. He upgraded to a PS5 himself, and then on my like 6-month stream anniversary, like I think that was it, my 6-month stream anniversary, he gave me his PS4 Pro, and it came with a ton of games. And another member of our community, Erengard, gifted me a year's PlayStation Plus, like a full year's subscription to PlayStation Plus. Nice. And it came with this thank you card here, which has like a lot of really lovely like messages from everyone in the community, just being the absolute best people. So yeah. That's my gaming history. And to answer the second part of his period ending question, a game that when I saw this, I was like, what? I just play what I like, right? But actually, we talked about it already. It was Fortnite. I did not like Fortnite when I first played it. I was a PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds guy. I was like, oh yeah, PUBG's the best battle royale. I played it a couple times, and I was like, I even started playing the mobile version because I didn't have like an Xbox or a PC, so I was like playing the mobile version of PUBG, which is garbage. But I was like, I need
so much of that at work. I would like start playing it, and then if I had to do work, I would just be like, okay, I'm in a building, so I'm safe. I'd go do stuff, then I'd come back. Start playing some PUBG.
The mobile version is so much like advertising around it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I then when Fortnite finally came to Nintendo Switch, because it was still the only console I had at that time, I was like, all right, let's give it another go. And 600 hours later, yeah, I've played a lot of Fortnite, and I had so much fun. Whether it's playing with like Cesar and our friends, or even just I was playing solo for the longest time, you know. But also I got to know a lot of great other kind of funny best friends, you know, around the world, playing Fortnite with them, and it's and I still enjoy it to this day. I've got my Superman skin, and very 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 happy with that. It's a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, Gage and I went back and played PUBG for like an hour one day, and we're like, whoa, this game did not age well. And then we both deleted it.
Yeah, it was like that was recent. That was like we're talking free on PlayStation Plus like 6 months ago. Oh
yeah,
my God,
I've not
PUBG's free on PlayStation Plus.
It was. It's still
wow.
Not worth it.
I've not
That's
gone back
interesting.
and yeah, that's it. Fortnite has stood the test of time. PUBG hasn't. Like, I've not gone back and played PUBG in literally years, it feels like. So yeah.
And then follow up, Kumail says, keep up the fantastic streams and thank you for bringing so much of that positive energy to them. They are really invigorating.
Kumail is the first member of the Medforce and one of my absolute favorites. He's the best. I love Kumail. He's fantastic. Thank you, Kumail.
Then he stopped showing up.
I was gonna say that makes fun of us.
Oh, well, Kumail, I still love you. I still think you're amazing. And I thank you for everything you do. You are the true epitome of a kind of funny best friend. So thank you, Kumail.
Yes. Shout out to Kumail.
Fine. Shout out to Kumail. God damn.
When football season starts, it's a write-off. That's what I thought to myself. And I know there's not even any major matches going on in the UK right now. I was just like, yeah, no. I was like, is Kumail going to be on this episode? It's like, nah, probably not.
It's like that. Anything related to Pokemon, anything related to Monster Hunter, and half the time it does none of that happens, and he just doesn't want to show up anyway.
Oh God.
Joe, you mentioned the wonderful, the amazing Reese boy, and I believe one McKenna has a question from him.
That's me. Yes, I do. Reese boy asks, you always say a part-time stream with a full-time dream. And the words, I'm gonna just say what he says, maybe because you know him better than me.
No. I think he meant, what is the dream in detail?
What is the okay, cool. Okay, that's okay, yes.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah. No, it feels now like this is staged. This is rehearsed. What are you? No,
you did look at it.
I was mentioned in the tweet, so so I don't entirely know overall, but I think that's kind of the beauty of it. I'm figuring it out as I go, and I think one of my favorite things to say, and this is I don't know if anyone watches Movies with Mikey Newman on YouTube.
Yo, I am secret, real quick. I am trying to get him on the show. He and I have a rapport. I used to chat with him back when he was working at Gearbox on Borderlands 1, yeah. And I recently, started talking to him again. He and I follow each other on Facebook and whatnot. So I'm really hoping to get him on the show sooner or later.
Buddy, if you need anyone to guest, like, co-host with that, if you want to bring me in, I know I'm not like an official part of the crew, but like I would, because it's blank,
so
because it's blank stares from Gage and C, and like they're like, oh, that's so yeah, no, he's amazing, but he has this thing on his show where he's like, no one knows what they're doing, and That is so true. We don't, and I didn't ever expect, I think, to have a regular, like a community or an audience, around what I do, which is something I'm so thankful for. And that, in a way, no matter where it goes from here, the dream's already come true in that sense. But it would be obviously what it says to actually be able to quit the day job and do this full time in a sense. And I want to keep doing what I did, this past month. Keep myself engaged and surprise people with stuff like Travis Touchdown or No More Heroes. And I've said it before a dozen times on this show already, but I've just always wanted to make things that entertain and make people happy. So to be able to create videos, stream, and spend time with a growing community, whereby I'll do the sort of the kind of funny thing where like you're earning enough to support yourself and those close to you, those who you're creating with. That's a big thing for me actually as well, making sure that people are credited properly, and like the artists who were like my very close friend Paz does a lot of my graphic design stuff for me. Like that's work for her as well. Like the money that I earn on Twitch doesn't just go back in my pocket, it goes back to obviously games I'll buy and stuff like that, but people who work on stuff, paying them for their work, it's so important, because really I think so many of us have that desire to make what we love into a living, and that doesn't happen without people supporting you in any sense, whether it's commissioning work from you or subscribing to you, or following you, or gifting a sub, or whatever it is. Patreon, that's something I do definitely want to build towards once I get a more concrete idea of like what does a regular content schedule for me look like, what create a series of some kind, maybe, because it's all been a bit like highlights and some video essays. I think that's something I really want to look into more, because I really liked making I did a couple video a proper video essay on a Breath of the Wild, on Zelda, and an introduction to No More Heroes recently, which was those are really some of the things I'm proudest of. So more stuff like that in the future for sure.
That's awesome. Speaking of characters that you've played, Sightful Rage says, which character has been your favorite to bring onto your stream?
Waluigi will always have a very special place in my big, weird purple heart. But and maybe there's a bit of a recency bias, because I absolutely adore No More Heroes 3, but it is Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes, because Waluigi, as you all know, is a nebulous figure. Because he doesn't have a game of his own, and we've only seen bits and pieces of him in other Mario games, he's a caricature. He's less a character, more a caricature, which is really fun to imitate and be. And there's a lot more to him for people who are fans of that, wacky, weird sort of sensibility. But with Travis Touchdown, it was quite a nice escape and a change for me. To like I said earlier on, I love performing, and it's been a while since I've done anything that was really like a stage show, a musical theatre production. I did a lot of those in school and college, but nothing really like that recently. So I'm a big fan of that, of really, and I might do more stuff like that in the future. But yeah, and also being able to introduce a character to people, right? And have fun with that, show people something they've not seen before. So yeah, I had it was a roller coaster. It was really great to tell people about Travis and show him how crazy he is.
That's awesome. Caesar, I believe you have another question.
Yes, I do, from Paul McGee. He says, "Where is the swag Brandon Flowers cosplay?"
Paul, if you can hold on, if you can hold on, hold on. For those who don't know the Killers, they're like, what the hell's that weirdo singing? But yeah, that's just a little excerpt from a Killers song, because Paul has pointed out the Killers poster in my background and been one of the few people to do so, and it's awesome. To be honest, Paul, I've never really considered cosplaying as like a real person, but it's a great question, and never say never, eh? I don't have any plans at the moment, but yeah.
You say that, but like another part of your branding that I haven't touched on, and I don't know how many people have talked about this, is, and it's very blatantly obvious if anybody's been paying attention to the video. You have a really weird obsession with Prince.
Oh, I have an absolutely legitimate fandom and love of Prince. Except, in case you didn't notice, if you're listening to the audio version and not watching the video version, I'm one of the whitest people you ever see. I could never
I'm not saying do blackface, but like you've never dressed up as Prince?
No, I've never dressed up as Prince. No, I've sung a lot of Prince in all of my alerts until Warner Brothers comes with that cease and desist or Prince themed. But like, no, I've never done that.
The actual icon to your Discord server is a picture of Prince.
It is. I've still kept that.
For the longest time, I was so confused. I was like, did Joe Photoshop himself onto Prince? Because I can't see it that well. I can't really. There's not really high definition.
No, it's just Prince. It's just a cool picture of Prince from the Purple Rain era. Yeah, I just. No. But yeah, I will say the one thing that I've considered but not quite figured out yet is to bring it back full circle to the amazing work that Phil does for people's emotes. Is I have Waluigi dressed up as Prince as one of my emotes. So that is definitely on the table, because I've done Waluigi, and Waluigi dressing up as Prince makes absolutely zero sense apart from the fact that they both love the color purple. But I think that could certainly be fun. So yeah,
be great. It was one of my favorite mashups to create and figure out, because how do you read this as Waluigi and Prince at the same time? Here we go. Let's
you nailed it. You nailed it, man. It's amazing.
Oh man. So I think we have one more community question. Is that correct? Is everyone out of community questions besides me?
I'm
All right.
You hold out on me, Phil?
But you said you wanted one. You said you wanted one.
He said that, and then I said, "Give me however many." And Gage was like, "Yeah, give me."
I will say, I know that we did have one more response. If to the community questions, if you want me to throw it in there, I will essentially be asking myself a question.
Go for it.
Mark Freeman, aka the Indie Boy, another prime amazing example of a kind of funny best friend. He had a very straightforward question. He just asked if there was, and I think this is a great question for everyone, to be honest. What music have you been listening to recently?
Was this the question you were going to ask him right now, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey! Oh, sorry.
He was leading up. He was gearing up.
I didn't realize. I thought he was like, "Are there any more?" Okay, no, I guess not. So I'm so sorry, Phil.
No, it's fine. I was literally getting ready to send it to Gage since he said that, and then you started saying it, and I was like, "Oh, never mind. We're good."
Started taking over. That's no, that's never happened before.
We were just talking about the Killers and Prince. So I thought it was a great question to end with.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Have anything else?
But yeah, a great segue in terms of music. I have listened to the Killers' latest album, which I quite liked, but I haven't gone back to it, so that probably says a lot. There's a band from Southampton, which are they're a cross between like My Chemical Romance and Meatloaf. They're called Creeper, and they're absolutely amazing. And they put out an EP recently called American Noir. So definitely check that out.
Don't really name drop the name like Meatloaf a lot.
Yeah,
I don't really hear that often.
No, I know, right? Yeah, they've got that like melodrama, that theatricality. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And I've actually just sort of spun through the new Turnstile album. They're like a hardcore outfit, but they've gone a bit more melodic on their most recent effort. It's an album called Glow On, which is really good. Definitely recommend. And I've also really been liking the new Halsey, which is, I believe, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. I think that's the title of it.
Damn.
Yeah, that's absolutely a fire record. It's been a great year for music. It's been a great couple of years for music.
I don't
Really,
know what
so,
it
yeah.
was this week, but this week everybody decided to drop music.
Yeah,
Oh
definitely.
my
yeah.
god, everybody. There's music all over my timeline of like just crazy different genres everywhere.
Like
Mhm.
people everybody knows, and then people you don't know, and then somebody is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know that person." It's like,
Did you Cesar? I don't listen to them personally yet, but how was the new AJR for you?
I liked it. It's essentially like a remix of an old song Daisy the
Mhm.
Great put out called Record Player, and it is unrecognizable. It is like unrecognizable from the original version, but I like the remix version a lot with AJR. I know
great.
McKenna likes it also.
Yes.
And they're gonna be playing it every night on their tour coming up, so I'm really excited for that. Because Daisy the Great is gonna be like the opening act, I think. So that's
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
They're just getting started, so it's really awesome for AJR to do this to give them like a bump, and then yeah.
Nice.
But I really liked it.
That's awesome.
Great.
Did anyone else have any other questions?
Not really a question, but I'm just sorry you're British. You know, I'm just sorry you were born
Whoa.
on the wrong side.
No, to be fair, Cesar knows me well enough. To be
He
honest.
runs with
It's
the
like,
punch as well. He runs with those really well.
and not just that. I am more American in terms of my personality than basically every British. But like, I'm way more. I've always
Like he
been
married an American. Like
I married it. I not only did I marry an
Okay.
American, but I'm just yeah, it's right there. Like I'm
Okay,
just,
so-
I'm in your face.
American questions then. Beans on toast versus peanut butter and jelly.
Beans on toast every time. I'm sorry. Like you can take the Brit to America, but you
But you
can't
can't
just
take-
you can't take the beans out of him. Like I had beans on toast today with some bacon. It was great. Like yeah, there's certain things
Your
that I
answer,
definitely.
everybody. He's British.
in case, governor, in case you didn't know.
I'm just saying, you were saying, American, whatever. No, you're just British.
Man, I'm excited to see what happens when you move to America, because it's gonna go like first couple months will be the same. You know, it's like, hey everybody, welcome to the streams. It's gonna be great. After like a year, it's gonna do a total change, and it's just gonna be like, hey everybody,
brother!
welcome to my stream. My name is Joe Medforce, and
Well, he's
I'm
going
gonna
to
be playing
Michigan.
some video games for. Oh shit, that's right. God, what's the Michigan accent?
He's gonna be talking about lakes all day. He's gonna be talking about the
Fargo?
water
Is
cruiser.
Fargo, Michigan? I
It's
forget.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Fuck.
Minnesota.
To be fair, there's not.
I think
they're
it's a
not-
similar accent. I think it's a similar accent to Minnesota.
Midwest.
I
Not
think so. It's just a
dissimilar,
little
yeah.
bit
Oh, yeah.
less. Little bit
Welcome
less
to the
crazy.
stream.
It's a little bit less exaggerated than the
Little
Minnesota
hoser.
accent.
Little bit.
Oh my god.
We're just offending everybody today.
No,
Look
we're
up some
just.
rope, you guys. I gotta look up
just-
some rope.
We're just.
Hang on.
You want a back to school necklace, Phil?
Yeah, please.
Oh my.
Don't look that up. Nobody
Oh,
Google
yeah,
what a
don't-
back to
don't
school
Google
necklace.
that.
I've never heard that term before.
Let me
And I
send you a
don't think I
picture.
want to know what it is. Oh dear God.
Everybody wonders why I'm the way I am. They're like, are you okay on these shows? Like, you always look so miserable. I'm like, did you fucking watch it? Like, you would know why.
So Creeper looks really cool. You can't say meatloaf without me getting interested. You know what I mean? Or, what?
Not that kind
No.
of meatloaf, Phil. The food kind, okay? Not the racist kind.
Wait, what?
I can't remember. Meatloaf got canceled for something a couple years ago. I can't remember what it was.
I
Did it
believe it.
really?
I 100%
Oh,
believe
wow.
it.
No, yeah, he's not the greatest dude. His music.
no.
Maybe
Oh.
he was just an asshole or something like that. I don't.
I think
remember.
I think he's always just kind of been an asshole. But yeah.
Oh no! I'm so sad right now.
Tastes great with ketchup though.
Simply saddy.
Simply Saddy,
Some
that's
simply
good.
saddy. So it just means I have to replace him with Creeper. That's the answer. So it's fine.
Yeah,
found a-
Creeper
I
are
found a
freaking great.
replacement.
You're gonna love him. You're gonna love him, Phil.
Well, if nobody else has any questions, guess that's
You basically covered everything.
what do you where can people find you, Joe? Mr. Medforce, Where can people find you?
You are still listening and you want any part of this nonsense. My name is Joe. The Medforce is a part-time stream working towards a full-time dream, bringing you ridiculous positive passion every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on twitch.tv/JoeMedforce. If you can't make it to the streams and hang out and chat, don't worry about it, because you can check out some of the best bits as well as other videos on youtube.com/JoeMedforce. Hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Would really appreciate the support. And then at Joe Medforce on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Still figuring out TikTok, but we'll get there.
Do you need my sister to help you again, Joe?
God, okay. For those who don't know, we had like a Discord call.
It was on my birthday. It was on my
It
birthday
was on
stream.
Cesar's birthday stream, and I'm sure he still has the copy of it. Where like
I probably
basically.
don't.
Oh my god, where Cesar's like, I don't know, what,
14.
70? Oh, she's 14, yeah. 14-year-old sister just basically looked at my
just turned
TikTok
14
and she ripped apart my TikTok.
She's like, first of all, you need to be young and cool. And it was just shit all over Joe. That's all she did.
It was incredible. Oh god, yeah. No, guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
So much fun.
Joe, I just want to say, you're pretty good, and you're officially out of our league.
Yes, amazing.
That was good, Phil. That was very good. Joe.
It was pretty.
Go ahead. Finish that.
I don't know what this snake guy was talking about. What
Semi-solid.
kind of name is Snake anyway? Like a snake oil salesman or something? Anyway, Joe. Foo Fighters.
Shut the fuck up.
That was like from the get-go. I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this. So I'm just gonna make shit up.
At least you're
dude.
smiling. That's the only thing that matters, Gage.
Yeah, you're having a good time.
Thank you
wanna
everybody
be a
for
man
watching.
club.
Please,
Go wide
please,
and
if you enjoy this content, hit that
Oh, we're
like
still
button,
going?
hit that
I guess so.
notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Find us on podcast services someday in the future. Thank you so much for your support. You guys mean the world to us. And have a wonderful day.
More cowbell.